Hey everyone, this is Disc Junkie, and today I am going to take on a massive project which I thought would be fun to document. As you can see, we are currently in the movie room, and this has been the movie room basically from the day we moved in here about 3 years ago. And it is essentially, you know, from the beginning, it is actually the master bedroom as far as the layout of this house is concerned. Now, we chose to put the movies in here because basically I figured that, you know, I'm gonna need a room as big as this, and this was basically the only option. Now, you know, some years has passed, and yesterday my girlfriend suggested or asked me if, you know, do you think it would be possible that we actually switched rooms between the current movie room and the current bedroom, which at first, just the same way as when we moved in, it felt like, you know, very sort of mission impossible, because quite frankly I didn't think that it could fit in there. I'm basically gonna just go upstairs to show you the second floor here. Watch your head. This is essentially the old bedroom. And this was the bedroom up until, well, basically last night. I slept here last night, and now I've sort of cleaned it out because this is supposed to become the new movie room. This ceiling is actually pretty low. Lighting is also terrible in here. There we go. Got this much up to the ceiling, which really isn't a lot. So I mean, I love this bedroom, and we sort of redid this whole thing when we moved in. You know, all the wallpapers and the entire roof. We spent so much time fixing this thing up. It would be cool to be able to have my collection in here, but it means a lot of planning because you got these slanted ceilings, as you can see. I can't just move the shelves that I have because they are too high. I don't think you can even fit them in where the ceiling is at its highest. So I'm essentially going to have to cut down the shelves. I'm not 100% sure as to how much I'm actually going to cut down. I do have 2 shelves which are already cut down. Now these are all Billy bookshelves, apart from the slim ones which I've mentioned in most videos. They're called Benno. I'm thinking either I cut down all the shelves right here, so then I'm losing 2-3 shelves there, and then I would just have, like, you know, all these big display shelves that I have, like the biggest center portion here. These are gonna be like the top shelves. Now the problem with this is that this is only gonna leave like 4 or 5 centimeters until the ceiling starts. It sort of defeats the purpose of having that top shelf. I'm just gonna show you what I mean. I put some tapes here, and this is only to illustrate sort of the height the new shelf would have. So if I do cut it like I said, this would bring my shelves basically up to here. This would be the top. And then, you know, hardly gonna be able to put tapes up here because they will just hit the ceiling. So it's so hard to decide what works and what doesn't work. Seeing as, you know, I have these shelves, let's just go ahead and start by clearing these 2 shelves out, move them upstairs, and see how it feels. And I thought we would actually do like a time-lapse sequence, so I'm just gonna set up a camera upstairs, and yeah, let's just push play. Okay, change of plans. I cut down like 1 shelf, realized that cutting down all the shelves is gonna take a hell of a lot more time than I thought. Instead of cutting all of the current shelves in half, I'm actually gonna just pause everything right here and make a drive to IKEA and purchase new shelves. Okay, so it's been quite a long time since I did the whole rearranging that you just saw. My beard has grown, hair has changed, yada yada, and now I wanted to give you a bit of an update as to what the result is looking like now. And first of all, might be hard to believe, but I'm actually standing in the new bedroom. And I'm not gonna, give a full tour of the bedroom because I don't think it's needed, but yeah, just to show you what this room actually looks like when it's not a movie room. And we're still sort of deciding on what to do in here in terms of the whole, final setup. Sorry about the clothes there, but yeah, just want to show you that, yeah, it is a different room. And then we have sort of like an office area in the corner here and whatnot. But that's not really important, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and go upstairs and show you what the movie room actually looks like now. On the way up here you actually have 3 movie posters. I don't have a lot of posters, but might as well show you these before I go up. These are all posters from the same artist. His name is Danny Miller, a really talented guy who does these amazing posters, in my opinion. These are limited editions. They are sort of, signed and numbered. I don't remember what it's called, that particular print, but it's like a cool girl with, they get all tons of these different little movie-related nudges. Like all the weapons in the background are basically movie weapons from different movies. You get like the Robocop gun and Watchman gun, and it's everything sort of connects to films, so it's sort of an homage to films in general. Got an awesome Phantasm poster here as well, which I really like the look of. And of course, it all started with purchasing this really cool, one-of-a-kind Texas Chainsaw poster, which I also think is really awesome. But now, on to the movie room. This is the first part. And I just want to mention, I'm not done with this by any means. I'm still sort of rearranging and moving stuff around, but I wanted to give you some kind of update as to where it's at. And yeah, I'm guessing I will come back for a second video where I will show it more at its sort of like final stage, but this is as much as I've had the time to do now. First off here, we basically have most of my Texas Chainsaw collection. All of this stuff in the middle here is basically Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've tried to divide it up in terms of, countries and stuff like that to keep track. And I'm not gonna go in for too much of a detailed look, but just to show you a little bit of what we have. So all of these middle shelves here are Texas Chainsaw. This is also Texas Chainsaw on the side here. More stuff divided by country. There's a bit of knickknacks there, but whatever. Also Texas Chainsaw related. On the other side there, I got sort of like a retro-esque kind of corner now. Just some typical 80s stuff. Things of that nature. Got my Nintendo, some Nintendo games, my NES sort of rental clamshells, as well as some Heartbox DVDs, which they sort of have that 80s imagery to them. Found footage down at the bottom there, one of my favorite subgenres when it comes to horror films. And then over here is just more retro stuff, basically like new retro. Basically all these movies which are released on VHS, even though, they're modern day movies made now, like Turbo Kid or The Sleeper or things like that. And here are also some DVDs, which are usually sort of like coinciding with the same releases. Like a lot of the time these are sort of combo packs. I can't find a single example, but yeah, a lot of the time it's combo packs. And I also have like some particular movies up here which are also sort of like retro related. Like I have Kung Fury down here on VHS, but I also have Kung Fury up here on DVD. And the rest of the room is not exactly finished, as you can see. One more shelf here which is somewhat finished. This is mainly videotapes at the bottom, different labels, and then when I get to the top I have a slightly slimmer shelf which is basically like just a bunch of Blu-rays, because they are not as high in terms of the size-wise. They sort of fit in there, and I can still keep the 3 rows of big-ass clamshells at the bottom. Some Matrix stuff at the top here, as you can see. Then we just have the rest of stuff on the floor there. Not really sure what to do with this corner. Sort of like one of these crawl space places here. I don't want to block it off, but at the same time I want to be able to use this space for something. Maybe I'll get a table or something. I'm still pondering how to sort of solve this situation and sort of work out how I can use that part of the room. But yeah, so this is like the first room, and then we have the second room in here, which is actually really dark. I'm just gonna turn on some kind of light Hopefully this is light enough. So this is the upgraded movie room. Still, yeah, it's very different from before, and I loved the old movie room downstairs. I thought it was very sort of complete to me, and I was really happy about it and the way it looked. But I love having the master bedroom downstairs as it is now, so I'm really happy the way this turned out so far. You can see I decided to go with lower shelves, which I got from IKEA, like I said. These are standard Billy bookshelves, these sort of half size, which are roughly about 1 meter up. And yeah, I think it's nice because now you can actually see more of the wall like this, so the wallpaper plays a really nice part in this room, which I think is nice. There's a lot of stuff still on the floor here, which I just haven't gotten around to decide where I'm gonna keep it. It's a whole sort of sorting of these shelves isn't 100% at all, but I have some sort of idea how much I can fit in, and yeah, I still need to work stuff out. Not really sure how much I should show you in terms of the whole what's what. This corner here, you'll notice that I don't have any shelves. There's a reason for that, because the floor is actually really slanted here. You can't really see it, but the whole room, the floor actually sort of bends in the room, basically because it's an old house and the floor has sort of gotten weighted down with time. Like when the house shifts, when it's an old house, you sort of end up with this, I don't know, hammock-like floor. Like I have this small shelf here. Even though this is sitting flat on the floor and the shelf there is flat on the floor, you get like this really big space between them. So you can tell that from this point on, the floor actually really tilted. In case you want to know, this whole thing where you have like the sort of tiling here, like everything is wooded. Here you have like these tiles, and this is basically because this is like the old like chimney furnace, you know, the thing that comes from downstairs when you have an open fireplace, and this is the old, you say chimney? Yeah, you know, where Santa comes down, that's basically it. And on this floor there used to be like, I'm guessing they would have had like some additional type fireplace or like a stove or something. You can tell that there is like a hole here which has sort of been covered up, and this was like this when we moved in. So that's sort of why there's a different tiling on the floor, because they probably had some sort of heavy item standing there, like some kind of stove or chimney additional thing, which they didn't want to have on the regular wooden floor. There's also space on this side, as you can tell. Have the space there and have the space there. I would like to get maybe like a small table or something in this corner, keep an old style TV or something, sort of give a cozy atmosphere. I don't really want to do shelves everywhere, because I love the fact that you can see this nice wallpaper and it sort of becomes like more of a cozy, sort of warm place. I love symmetry, and I love the fact that just ending these shelves at the same place. I also need to get some lighting here because this is just temporary. I'm still not decided on what kind of lamps I want to get. But in this corner I'm thinking maybe I will do like some old-fashioned chairs, like in the cinema. Like actually get like these movie chairs, like these old red ones that you fold down. I think that would be really nice. Maybe get like 2 of those that could move out when I wanted them. Maybe I could even make like a... I'm losing the words here. You know, like a projector. If I just get a projector and I get some chairs, and then maybe I could put in some sort of, you know, pull down for projecting movies, like get a white one or something. I'm not sure. You know, I got a lot of thoughts as to what I can do. I don't know, maybe just a quick rundown of sort of what I got in these shelves. I'm thinking the top will sort of be like a display eventually. Put some stuff up, but you know, I don't know what I'm gonna have where. Over in the corner here is basically most of my vintage erotica collection that's sort of gone there right now. At the bottom, some tapes from specific labels. Here's a bunch of tapes from like random labels where I only got like a couple of them. I don't know, there's so much stuff here, and a lot of it's not sorted like this. I have such little interest in DVDs and Blu-rays, like I don't really know what to do with them. I mean, I want to keep them, but they're difficult to display. Like all of these keep cases, like they just take up room. I'm still pondering if I should do something different with this, but right now it's somewhat sorted based on genre or type. Like here I have all of my sort of, you know, bleak kind of future or alternate future, 28 days later, apocalypse, bad things happening in the future kind of things. And then here I have like a bunch of these sort of, I don't know, I like to call it like the downward spiral or something, like that kind of section where everything just goes really weird and really bad, and it's just, I don't know, strange things. There are actually a bunch of DVDs in the back which sort of, you know, pertain to the same feel. So like if I want to find something, I obviously need to know where it is, or I can sort of go by the overall feeling of, like if I want to find a movie about drugs and people hurting themselves and, you know, really depressing film, I can go to this corner where I know that, you know, It's like the downward spiral where everything goes bad. All my Warner clamps and some other labels where I have like, you know, the same labels at the same place. Christopher Nolan stuff, David Fincher, Terry Gilliam, Minority Report stuff. The other side here we got my Alien stuff up here. I'm not really sure how to organize that. A bunch of Japanese tapes, all of these small clamps with specific labels or random labels, I don't know. A bunch of like murder, horror, serial killer flicks, as well as like more stuff of the same way, like DVDs but in the back there. I don't know, there's just so much stuff, but this is basically the overall idea where, you know, I will keep stuff for display in the front. That way I can sort of hide DVDs and stuff in the back, but I try to still organize it so it's sort of like the same kind of stuff on the same shelves. I'm just trying to give you an overall view of what's in here, even though it's quite a lot. Lebowski stuff down at the bottom there, or, well, basically the Coen brothers stuff, that's what I want to say. Some favorite films like Mad Max and stuff I double dip on, Phantasm, The Ninja Mission. Then here are like just randomly cool movies like Badasses and things like that, you know, Gangsters, Killing Zoe, Leon, all of these sort of hitman movies about really cool, wicked characters doing a lot of violent stuff. David Lynch section. All of the Lynch stuff on various formats. All the natural born killers. Here are the name slips my mind now. Frank Darabont, that's it. Like The Mist and Shawshank Redemption and all that stuff. So then I'm gonna do like displays up here. I've sort of started, but there's still a lot of organizing to do. There's also so much stuff that I have that I want to show, but I don't really know how to organize it and fit it all in, so there's a lot of work still to be done. I guess we can just summarize it that way. But I don't want to make this video too long, so let's just consider this part 1 of the movie room makeover switcheroo thingamajig. Basically I'll just come back when I'm, you know, more up to date and more finalized. But now you've seen some of it, so really hope you enjoyed this. As usual, hope to see you all next time.